Greetings, my friends. Tis I, Philip of Reiki, Emerald Dragon Reiki. Uh, we are here on the 8th of March. March Madness, right? I guess that's being touted about as a meme or idea. In Archangel Metatron's Self-Mastery Oracle, 8 added to, let's see, March is the 3, 2022 is a 6, so that's 9. 9 plus 8 is 17. The 17th letter of the alphabet. So that means the letter Q has the value of 17, which is 8, actually. Infinity on its side, and depending on which house it's coming from. So today's card, 17, is Conquering Fear. Start today, it says. Conquering Fear. Fear is the mind killer, so say the Ben Gesserit witches of Dune, in the book Dune, where Paul Atreides has to stick his hand into some box, and it's all his fears, or the box plays on his head, and he sees all sorts of things like causing great pain to his hand, but he can't retract it, for if he does, then the Ben Gesserit witch will kill him, basically, or his fear will kill him, one of the two. Yeah, his fear will kill him. Actually, she doesn't have to do anything. Fear makes you feel small. Does it make you feel small? It probably does. Fragile. Threatened, and unable to take the next steps. You may also feel isolated, and yet you are not alone. Many angels surround you, visiting you, wishing to help, though they can't unless you ask. So ask and you shall receive is the adage there. And right, fear. Well, what do we really have to fear? Fear death. Death is an illusion. It's a transition. Your soul never dies. It is an eternal soul coming from a spark of source, inhabiting this body with consciousness that you have imprinted, or have imprinted upon you, your identity, your programming, basically. 1 and 1 is 2, and all that stuff. Yeah. All programming, I'll have to admit. But, useful programming, in a way. We can add things up. We can be rational and intuitive and compassionate and kind and all that stuff, right? We can do a lot of that stuff if we want to. But right now, I want to go to the Schumann Resonance. And we're going to look at the amplitude. So you're seeing this kind of faint letters there. We got a 63. And that one, that's an interesting little spike there in the amplitude. Because it looks like it comes in right about 11, sometime between 11:45 and 11:55, I'm going to say, and right in that range, yesterday, PM, Tomsk, Russia, UTC. So you would say, well, that's yesterday, but we didn't report on it. So we're going to report on it now. And besides, it comes up later on. But 6 plus 3 is 9. And funny enough, the next spike that we have, which is quite correctly in this day and should be the highlight of today, is looks like it's about 3:20 sometime, 3:20 a.m. UTC, and we have a 27. 27 also is a 9, so we kind of have that mirror there going. 9 is the Hermit card. That's going within for inner wisdom. That's retreating from the fray. That's the sage on top of the mountain, that holding up his light so all can find him, or can find the enlightenment that he's got to bring, that he's discovered by going within. So yeah, that's 27. Then we go to the next spike, and that's struck at 8:30 a.m. UTC, and it's a 16. 16 is a tower. That's a lightning strike. That's a swift change. That's your artifices are falling down, if you take it personally. And if we're talking about the deep state, we are hoping that their structures are falling down. I mean, we see probably going to see the crash of the dollar, crash of the stock market. Crypto might hit the bottom. Silver and gold are going to go up, maybe like a rocket. But anywho, that is what we got with the number 16. 16 is also 7. 7 is the chariot. So taking charge, choosing our direction, moving forward. You don't back up a chariot, folks. Not possible. Well, it's possible, but not the best thing to try to do. Anyway, and then it kind of looks like we've got 2 spikes of 26, I'm going to say. Just the way that looks right there, because there's the one for the 16, and then we got 26, and it looks like it's twice. So one at 9:30 and another at 11 a.m. UTC. So 26 is 8, and 8 is the adjustment card or the justice card. I believe it is a justice card. I think justice is indicated in there. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check this book and see where number 8 is in the grand scheme of all possible things. There goes my magnifier onto the floor, where it shouldn't be. And let's see, we got to move along here. So 11 is what they're calling the justice card. So I guess they were saying that's the strength card. 8 is the strength card. It's kind of funny. In the Thoth Tarot, the lust card I would think that would be more of the strength card. But anyway, okay, so we'll go with strength here. Got a double whammy of strength coming through. We need to be strong right now. I should have, and I guess I'm going to do a bit shoot. I am going to do a bit shoot. Oops, what the heck is going on here? Oh, I got this a little bit too. Oops, come on. No, it's not working. Okay, so we've got it says 66, so maybe that was, but that wasn't a 66, that was a 63. I do not know where they're getting this number for 66. That would be 12 if it were true, but I don't know that it's true. I don't know where they're, I mean, do we see anything here that looks like a 66? I don't think so. Maybe that is a 66. Excuse me, I guess it is a 66. I thought it was a 3. My bad. Faint numbers are not my forte. Okay, so it was a 66, so I was wrong. That was a 12. That was the hangman or hang person, depending on which book you're looking at. Sort of messed this up here, haven't I? So 12 is a hangman instead. So we have the hangman, the hermit, and the tower, and then strength. All right, so 66, and that happened at 11:40, 11:55, something like that. Okay, so that's the power for the amplitude. We'll give him that, even though it's not technically on today's date. 9, they must be blinder than me. It's what I can think. If they're calling that it should have been a 27 today. Anyway, I'm not going to argue with them. That's what they're saying. We'll let them have it. We'll play with those numbers. So 12, the hangman, and then 3, the empress. So the divine female coming in, or the earth mother. Yeah, that would be cool. Suspension of action, though. 12 is a suspension of action, change of perspective, voluntary change of perspective to get a change in well, let's see, what do I want to say here? It is a suspension of action to gain a new perspective in the voluntary case, and in the other, it's just mind fuck, I guess. Anyway, moving on, we go to the quality, and it's got a power of 9.2. This is 11. That would be the Justice card or the Lust card in the Thoth Tarot. And not too sure how that comes about in the Thoth deck, but anyway, we'll go with the Justice card, because boy, we need justice. We surely need justice. I've not seen justice in a while. Heard that the Supreme Court ruled that we couldn't use religious reasons for not getting the jab. That's a crock of shit. All right. Moving on to the frequency. The frequency high was 8.23 hertz, and for low, 7.25. Adding those two numbers together, we get 758 or 748, 1548, excuse me. Divide that by 2, we get 7.74, which is 18, the moon. So, moon, illusion, intuition, madness, lunacy. All those things are a possibility with the fickle moon, right? But today being the 8th, let's see, we start with the moon in Taurus squaring Mercury in Aquarius at 9:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 6:04 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, squaring things. That's and Mercury of all things. So it's kind of the moon is monkeying or is messing with our communications there. Guy, the psychopomp. Then the moon also still in Taurus, trines Pluto in Capricorn at 9:35 a.m. or 6:35 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then the moon enters Gemini at 1:40 p.m. or 10:40 p.m. today, and it's 11:31 now. So yeah, it's already happened. And then the moon in Gemini trines Mars in Aquarius at 5:40 p.m. or 2:40 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that 5:40 is Eastern Standard Time. Then the moon in Gemini trines Venus in Aquarius at 6:27 p.m. or 3:27 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So what is that? That's about, is that 40 minutes? Yeah, I think it is. 20 to 47, so about 27 minutes difference. So Mars and Venus are not that close to a conjunction. I mean, they're kind of close, like to a conjunction, but not really. I mean, that's several minutes. Of course, we're talking about the moon. The moon moves pretty fast between these signs. There was a note there that says that the trine or the void of course that the moon went through to get from Taurus to Gemini was a beneficial one, which isn't always the case, according to those guys. Oh, oops, excuse me. Burped. All right, let's jump over here to space weather. And we'll zing in on this. Oops, where'd it go? Oh, that doesn't work. I give up. I was trying to get this right here. So we're looking at the sun, and we don't see any. Well, that's kind of the real faint coronal holes right there. Mostly we see we've got these sunspot bands on the north and the south limbs, and they all look active. And when we look here at the endless spiral, we see that we have a CME that kind of is going at about a 45 away from us. So we'll catch a little bit of it on the edge of it as it spreads out, depending on how big that is, right? Now we've got, okay, so I'm having trouble with this. I just need to get back to my other computer. There we go. There we go. Now we can see it. So looking at the solar wind over here on the left, we've got the density is dropped down and is in the lower third. The wind speed is way down. We're down into the, I'm not sure where we're at on that one, but down into the 300s, I would guess, unless that's up into the 500s, and then maybe on the top, then one might not be so good there. And then the temperature also is coming down, or is in the bottom third of that scale. So looking at the K index here, we do see we did have a geomagnetic storm on the 6th. And it kind of, so we went up into the red, we were up into the 5 range. And then we had another spike into the 4 range. So the geomagnetic activity for the last couple of days was pretty high. We started out today at a 3, dropped to, held that for 3 hours, dropped to a 2, and then we dropped to a 1, and we've held that for the last, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, for the last 12 hours. So all is calm on the geomagnetic front. So let's go to, oh, don't get in my way here. Probably, oh, come on. There we go. Did I do it? Yeah. Oops. And then we'll go to Ben's video, Suspicious Observers here.
Good morning, folks.
Today see what he has to say about that CME.
There may be a small solar wind disruption on the way, and we'll see progress in climate and catastrophism. Starting with our star at spaceweathernews.com, we find the last day on the sun relatively quiet despite the array of filaments and brighter active regions. The same region as yesterday's snap, top right, but the main thing to discuss is the filament snap on the north that same region had yesterday. It was very small. As we mentioned, the main bulk of the plasma did not eject, but both Stereo and SOHO updated later in the morning to show a minor CME. Most of it will miss. It was just the plasma off the top of the corona, but there is a small chance for a light impact in the solar wind on Thursday. Will be moderate at worst. We will.
So there you go. He's calling it a minor CME. It's a little hard to tell from the endless spiral, really. This is kind of like why I hang on to his channel there for a little while I'm getting this, so that I can interpret that a little bit better, because he's far more knowledgeable on this than I am. I will admit that freely. I am just trying to give you a kind of a complete report on what is going on with the cosmos for you today. And also, apparently, since the moon keeps coming up, we're going to be looking into what the moon is doing. So starts off with a square, a Taurus moon squaring, and then we end with a trine. Mars and Venus in Aquarius. So end on a good, trines are good, right? They're a positive aspect or transit for the moon to make, or any sign, you know. Yep, so there we are. We don't want to waste too much time here because of your precious time. We don't want to waste any of your precious time. We hope that you found this video helpful, insightful, possibly. It does seem that the Schumann is bringing us numbers that have significance. The hanged person, the Hermit, the Tower, and strength, and the amplitude alone. And then we have justice and the moon. So in the quality and the other. So a lot of positive things. If you found this a positive video and worthwhile, please considering giving it a thumbs up. Please consider sharing it, because I'm trying to grow this channel, a new channel. It's been a little difficult for me of late. Yeah. So subscribe if you're new to this channel, please. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and it helps me tweak their algorithms so that my video gets shared more. So anyway, we're going to end it here. Have a beautiful day on this 8th of March. And remember, You have the strength and power, and you need to conquer your fears and become a whole and complete being of light. Much love, light to you all.